Today we are going to be talking about a popular South Austin suburb of Buda, Texas. So this is the first suburb to the south of Austin, and we are going to be jumping into the computer today, and we're going to be talking about the layout of Buda, what you can expect from the homes in Buda. We can talk about, shopping, things to do with your family. We're going to be looking at all these things in the upcoming video, so stay tuned. Welcome to the Living in North Austin YouTube channel. My name is Connor Olson. I'm a local realtor here in Austin. If you want to reach out and ask about any questions about relocating to Austin, my contact info is down below. So let's jump into the computer and look at the layout of Buda. Okay, so let's first talk about the location of Buda. So Buda is the first suburb to the south of Austin. And first thing you should know is it's spelled Buda, B-U-D-A. But it's pronounced Buda. So that's something that trips up a lot of people. So it's the first suburb to the south of Austin. It is around 16 miles to get there. Right now it's 2 p.m., so it wouldn't be too long to get there from downtown. Let's see what it looks like if you're going from Buda to downtown at, I can change this to like 8 a.m. So yeah, Fridays are typically easier, but 30 minutes to an hour typically is what you can expect during rush hour. And then let's just, for fun, we'll look at end of the workday. Same thing, 30 minutes to an hour. So 16 miles, 30 minutes to an hour, that is going to be your commute time. So the easiest ways to get to Buda are going to be these two. Myself down here. This is I-35. It runs all the way down and cuts right through. And then this is Mopac. This comes out right here, and then you transfer to 45. And from here to here, this is a toll road. And then these are just kind of back roads. So those are going to be your two best bets of how to get from downtown to Buda. So the downtown is located here west of I-35. It is located right here, right along Main Street. And it's a fairly small main street. There's about 4 or 5 blocks, mostly on one side Main Street, but it does have some historical buildings. One of my coworkers has eaten at pretty much every one of these places, all the coffee shops, the restaurants. He's really enjoyed it. He said they got some great food down here, and yeah, just a nice little charming downtown. Okay, let's get out of this. Okay, major retail spots. Okay, so I wanted to touch on the major retail spots for the city. So as you can see here, I just typed in Buda grocery, and right over here, this is going to be your main spot. So you got I-35 right here. Right in here is going to be your main shopping. So in here you have your Walmart, you have an H-E-B, which is our local grocery store chain here in Texas, and those are going to be the majority of where you're going to be shopping. Over here we got a US Foods, which is a smaller grocery store, and then over here you have a couple things like a liquor store, Dollar General. But in terms of typical groceries, you're going to be right here, right along I-35, which is great. It's a convenient spot because most of the time you're going to be taking this exit anyways. But the downside is there's only one major spot to get that shopping in. If you zoom out a little bit, let me see if I can refresh. There are some extra spots down here in Kyle, kind of North Kyle, South Buda area. In here, I know you have a Target, an H-E-B, Lowe's, Walmart. So there are some nearby. It's just a little bit further away. So that's definitely a con of Buda, is that there's not a ton of grocery stores, retail chains. And then if you wanted to look at the shopping that's available in the area, you do have downtown, you have your, shops, antique shops, clothing shops, things like that. You have Walmart, you have Cabela's. But other than that, there's not a ton. You can go down here to San Marcos. This is going to be where the nearest outlet mall is. Now it's going to reset me to Buda. Kyle has quite a bit. So if I search here in Kyle, Kyle's going to have more retail options than Buda. And then, like I said, there's an outlet mall down here in San Marcos. So The good thing about Buda is it's not too far to get to Austin. It's 10-15 minute drive to get down here to the south of Austin. But the con is, there's nothing within the city. There's nothing super close by. So that's definitely something to know when you're thinking about moving to the Buda area. Okay, now let's talk about housing. So as you can see, the majority of what's developed is over here on the west side of Buda. And first I wanted to talk about where the new construction is coming. There's a ton of new construction in Buda that is primarily where they're seeing all their growth. Just like the surrounding suburbs of Austin, there's a lot of people relocating and wanting to get out of the city, get a new home, get a little more space. So I wanted to show you where that is kind of located right now. So this is the MLS, and these are new construction homes for sale currently. So as you can see, there's a couple little developments over here on the west side, but the majority of them are going to be over here on the east side. So you can tell, up here, this is going to be Turner's Crossing, which I actually just made a video on. You can find that on my YouTube channel. It's walking through some model homes in the Turner's Crossing area. Those homes range from about 350 to 500 typically, and there's 3 builders with 1,400 homes in that community. Down here, if you're going to this other big chunk, these homes are Sunfield. I actually wanted to touch on Sunfield. Sunfield is the fastest growing development in the whole city of Austin. So here's the homepage. It has a really cool amenity center, a lazy river, and this is honestly one of the biggest pool amenity center that I've seen in any subdivision. They have a nice splash pad for the kids. It's a really amazing amenities that they have here. They have local schools, they have homes, they have multiple builders. I believe they have 7 builders actively building within Sunfield. So again, it's a very big development, the fastest growing one in all of the Austin metro. So definitely one to check out and see if it's a right fit for you. So just a quick snapshot of the new construction homes that are listed for sale right now. Here, the median price is $375,000. The median size home is 1,800 square feet, but the largest home goes all the way up to 2,700 square feet. And the lowest home is 1,200. So you really have a large range of homes for sale in Buda that are new construction homes. So you have multiple active developments to choose from. The 2 biggest ones are Turner's Crossing and Sunfield. So those are definitely ones that I recommend you check out. Okay, now I wanted to switch over to existing homes. So here's a map of homes that have already been purchased from the builder. Someone lived in them for a few years and now they're reselling them. So here is a map of those homes, and you can tell they are more condensed in the areas where the new construction homes were not. The new construction homes were more up here, over here to this area, and then some were over here as well. So you can tell different areas. Obviously they started over here and then have worked their way more east in the new developments. So a lot of homes for sale, and I wanted to get some quick stats of what these homes look like. Again, this is just a snapshot of what's listed for sale today. It changes all the time. So the median home for sale is 2,000 square feet. It is $389,000, and the days on market is around 60. So the existing homes typically stay on the market less time than a new construction home. The builders can afford for it to stay on the market a little bit longer. So, and you'll typically find that the new construction homes are going to cost more than an existing home because there's less wear and tear. They come with the warranties, things like that. So that is definitely, something to consider if that's something that's important to you. I want to go through here and let's see when these were built. Oldest home for sale is 1948, a couple throughout the 80s, a couple throughout the 90s. The majority are built in 2006. Yeah, and then, a handful since then per year. So 2006 was a big year for building. So really, since the mid-90s until now, Buda has seen a ton of development. So, depends on the neighborhood, depends on when that development was built. that's going to be when the home's, the age of the home. And that's something definitely to know when you're looking at homes is what's the age, what are the upcoming expenses, what have the current owners fixed, what have they not fixed, things like that. Okay. Now I wanted to talk about two major news stories that are coming out right now about Buda. This first one is a South Korean EV supplier is going to put their office in Buda, and I believe it's a manufacturing office. So this company is a supplier of Tesla, and Tesla has some operations over here on the east side of Austin, but this company right here is going to be in South Buda. And one thing I thought that was interesting is that they are putting in $28 million into a 66,000 square foot building, and they are going to be Buda's largest employer with 350 workers. So it just shows that when you hear these major companies that are relocating to Austin, even if the headquarters of that company, Tesla, is 30, 40 miles away, there are suppliers that need to follow them, and they are bringing jobs to the surrounding suburbs that typically might not have these job opportunities. So there's a lot of economic development in Austin, and that trickles out to the surrounding suburbs. The second news article I wanted to talk about was this project that is coming in. It's $27 million, and it's going to bring needed retail restaurant to growing Buda. So like I showed you in the Google Maps, when we're looking at, the shopping situation, it's kind of lacking in Buda. So this is a much needed project. It's going to be a lot of different kinds of businesses. And really, it's going to be a much needed boost to the Buda area. So it's going to be 50,000 square feet. There's going to be retail and medical office space along 8 buildings. And there's going to be restaurants that will have pickleball, sand volleyball, and a playground. And this one is actually located right over here on West Buda. So here's downtown. So a little bit up north. If you're going to Mopac, this is 45, and this is how you get to Mopac. So this is definitely a much needed boost. Buda desperately needs kind of a gathering spot with multiple options of businesses that really attracts people to come and spend their money. So I'm really excited about this development. And this one is being called Project Sprinter. So if you ever see that in the news, you'll know what that means. Okay, now I wanted to talk about some family-friendly activities. First up, we have Indian Spring Ranch. Now, this is Exotic Animals Ranch in Buda, and they have all sorts of cool animals. They got kangaroos. I believe this is an ox. They have some cool longhorns, camels, donkeys, zebras. I believe this one's a water buffalo. So this is a really cool family-friendly activity. They have a lot of, it looks like you can pet certain animals, you can feed certain animals. It seems like just a really cool time. I haven't been there, but after looking at this, I really want to take my kids there. So I think this would be a really cool spot to check out. This is Indian Springs Ranch. Next up, we have Memorial Mini Golf and Museum. So this one's kind of cool. It's a mini golf course, but it also has a kind of US military theme as well. And they have an attached museum. So they got things like, replica airplanes. They have a lot of memorabilia from, typically it seems like mostly World War II. They have Rosie the Riveter. They have, different themed, like military looking items. They have memorials to different people, to different battles throughout history. There's another look at that airplane with the slide. They have memorials to different historical events. So it just seems very unique. It seems very unique to have kind of a mix of a museum and a, mini golf. Those two things don't seem to go together in my mind, but it's pretty cool. Like, here's the inside of the museum. They have different weapons that were used. So I thought it was really cool. If you enjoy mini golf, if you enjoy museums about World War history, I think this would be a cool spot to check out. Up next, we have Doc's Drive-In Theater. I love a good drive-in movie theater, and they got some really good movies set up. They have this really cool kind of concession stand area that's, you know, very historic looking. I assume this is like 20s vibe. It's kind of what I'm seeing, but they have a cool live music stage. They have a nice bar for concessions. And then obviously it's a drive-in theater. So park your car. It's a great family-friendly activity. They have a lot of kids movies also going on. So this is definitely something that looked really cool. And once my kids are a little older, I'll definitely be taking them there. Last up for family-friendly activities is a little bit out of Buda, but I had to throw it in there anyways. And that is Schlitterbahn. This is located in New Braunfels, which is closer to San Antonio. Buda's up here, New Braunfels down here, so maybe like a 20 to 30 minute drive. But it's this awesome outdoor water park. It has, you know, a ton of different slides, different water activities. You can see it's massive. Some of my friends went a week ago and they just talked about how amazing it was. So this is definitely has to be on your list of things to do. Again, it's out of Buda, but it's close enough, so I'm throwing it on the list. That is it for today's video about Buda, Texas. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about relocating to the Austin area, feel free to reach out. My contact info is down below. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.